All right, we've come to the last section, the 16.8.1, an atomic description of dielectrics. All right. You're probably wondering why a dielectric increases the capacitance of a capacitor. Even if you're not wondering, I'm going to explain it. For an explanation, we will need to look at an atomic description of the material. To do this, we need to understand a property of some molecules called polarization. A molecule is said to be polarized when there is a separation between the average position of its negative charge and its positive charge. In some molecules, such as water, this condition is always present. To see why, let's consider the geometry of a water molecule shown in the figure. The molecule is arranged so that the negative oxygen atom is bounded to the positively charged hydrogen atoms with a 105-degree angle between the two bonds. The center of negative charge is at the oxygen atom, and the center of positive charge lies at the point midway along the line joining the hydrogen atoms. It's point X in the diagram. Materials composed of molecules that are permanently polarized in this way have large dielectric constants. Oops, too far. All right. A symmetric molecule, like the one shown in the top figure, doesn't have a permanent polarization, but a polarization can be induced. It can be induced in it by an external electric field. A field directed to the left, as in the bottom figure, would cause the center of the positive charge to shift to the left from its initial position, and the center of negative charge to shift to the right. This is called induced polarization and is the main effect for most materials used in dielectrics as capacitors. To understand why the polarization of a dielectric can affect capacitance, let's consider the slab of dielectric shown in the figure. Notice that in the left-hand figure, the polar molecules of the dielectric are randomly oriented. These polar molecules are dipoles, and each creates a dipole electric field, but because of their random orientation, this field averages to 0. Next, the dielectric is inserted into the electric field E sub 0 between the plates, as you can see in the middle figure. Now, the positive plate attracts the negative ends of the dipoles, and the negative plate attracts the positive ends of the dipoles. These forces exert a torque on the molecules, making up the dielectric, reorienting them so that on average, the negative pole is more inclined toward the positive plate, and the positive pole is more aligned toward the negative plate. The positive and negative charges in the middle still cancel each other, but there is a net accumulation of negative charge in the dielectric next to the positive plate, and a net accumulation of positive charge next to the negative plate. We can model this configuration as an additional pair of charged plates, as in the right-hand figure, creating an induced electric field IND for E induced that partly cancels the original electric field E sub 0. If the battery is not connected when the dielectric is inserted, the potential difference delta V sub 0 across the plate is reduced to delta V sub 0 over kappa. If the capacitor is still connected to the battery, the negative poles push more electrons off the positive plate, making it more positive. Meanwhile, the positive poles attract more electrons onto the negative plate. This situation continues until the potential difference across the battery reaches its original magnitude, equal to the potential gain across the battery. The net effect is an increase in the amount of charge stored on the capacitor. Because the plates can store more charge for a given voltage, the capacitance must increase. That ends this section and the chapter for that matter.